the amazing things that they're doing all over the world. So allow me, partners in Africa, our partner co-family, to read this little bio. So let's meet this amazing couple. Let's meet Dexter and Dr. Tonya Jonah Scott, an inspiring duo known for transforming lives and mindsets. Honored with prestigious 44th Presidential Legacy Lifetime Achievement Award. These best-selling authors, coaches, and presenters have impacted thousands with their down-to-earth approach. Through their global stages and virtual platforms, they have empowered individuals to unlock their full potential by upgrading their minds. Dexter and Dr. Tonya's influential messages reaches far and wide, guiding people to slow down, understand their journey, and accelerate their success. Their Excuse me, please. Yes. Their TV shows, podcasts, and radio appearances have made them recognizable figures dedicated to helping others overcome limitations and pursue their dreams. With a powerful tagline, "We may not know you, but we know what's in you." They invite you to join their inner circle and coaching programs to experience the transformational teachings firsthand. Dexter and Dr. Tonya Jonah Scott are the ultimate upgraders. The ultimate upgraders. I simply love that one. Let me share a few of some of the accolades that they have gathered over the years. They have the world's first coaching and mastermind system designed for growth through challenges. Multiple seven-figure earners in the direct selling industry. Selected leaders from the direct sales industry to professionally film with Dr. John C. Maxwell on 15 layers of growth for network marketers. Dr. Jonah Scott received an honorable doctorate in philosophy from Trinity International University of Ambassadors. They are certified speakers through NBC University. Former host of the Upgraders show on the Direct Sales TV network, which appeared on Roku Apple TV. Host of the Upgraders show podcast on Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. They appeared in Huffington Post in an article entitled $1 Million Magnetism, and contributors to the Huffington Post book review on New York Times bestselling. Tonya is the founder and visionary of Conversations Camp for Women, which has successfully transformed the lives of thousands of women all over the world through conversations that promote healing and transformation. Finally, Tonya is the founder of the Shine Movement, which is a book anthology project highlighting the stories of women all over the world. I could go on and on, Tim. Let us welcome Dexter and Dr. Tonya Scott. Please show some reaction as we welcome this amazing duo couple that are just impacting lives and transforming lives and upgrading. I like the upgrading part. You're welcome.
Praise God.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Blessing.
you so much, Blessing.
Yes, we appreciate that.
I'm going to tell you, how many of you know, or when people are bringing you up and you just, if you could see us back and forth talking, like, that's enough right there. It's like, you're grateful, but at the same time, you was like, oh my God, no, don't read all of that. But we are so grateful. We're thankful to be here with you on today, for you guys to even reach out to say, hey, join us. Let's spend some time together. It means a lot. We do not take it lightly. One thing that we say often is iron does sharpen iron. And that's what's going to happen on today. As we're here talking, sharing one with another, iron will sharpen iron, and we'll all be upgraded.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, we will. And we want to honor all of our Partners Council members that are here, all of the entire South Africa leadership team, and those of you guys, our partners. Thank you for being here. We are definitely honored. So we're going to share some information with you. You guys feel free to write down stuff, take notes, whatever it might be. We know that you guys have had some amazing speakers to come in to share information with you on how to grow your business. Tonya and I will share a bit of our journey. We'll share some things, and then Blessing, just give us kind of a thumbs up to let us know when we've hit our time frame.
Yeah, and I have to say, Lizette.
Hey, Lizelle.
Hey, it feels so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. We're so grateful. Thank you, everybody. We're really honored to be here. Okay.
Yeah. So look, it's gonna all fit
a little bit of our history.
Yeah, it's gonna okay, good. Yeah. So when Tanya and I got married, we've been married for 23 years. When I met Tanya, she was in a direct sales in the direct sales industry. So we got married
in my 20s.
In her 20s, yeah. And then we decided after we got married, we got involved in another direct sales company. So this is my third, your fourth, right?
I think, fourth, fifth. I think it's like my fifth.
And this is home for us. So we're not leaving Partner. This is the best. So we want to tell you all, we've been involved in different companies. If this is your first one, God bless you. You entered the best already.
Sincerely.
We can tell you that our experiences show us that PartnerCo has longevity. They're longevity minded, which is amazing for us. So we're home, and we love being here. So we got involved in the industry. We were able in different companies to progress pretty quickly, and we're thankful for that. But there's some things that we had to implement and things that we learned and things that we're still learning as we continue to get better, because we're big in personal development. There's a tagline that we came up with years ago. I don't know if you guys have ever heard it, but MLM direct sales is personal development on steroids. So we were saying that 10 years ago. It is on steroids because there is no job, there's no industry that you can get in, and within a very short period of time, you will have access to individuals that have already done certain things in business, but you're able to expedite your own process just by being around certain people. So it's on steroids. You learn quick. You learn the things you need to work on. You learn the things that you're pretty decent at, but you still need to get better. So It is on steroids. So you want to add to that, Tanya?
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you. I'm glad he mentioned been together for 23 years, 4 children, 3 grandchildren now. And like he said, when we first crossed paths, I was in a direct sales company then. I did not know it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it. It was there was an interest there. Long story short, though, for those who know me, my story: low self-esteem, no confidence. I've gone through a lot of rejection throughout my life. These things I really wasn't aware of. Honestly, I became more aware of them when I hit my 40s. And I was also now part of this industry. So when you hear us talk about it being personal development on steroids, it's these types of things that was also becoming more known to me. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I can actually say is Dexter and I would say we help people as the upgraders. We're going to help you get out of your own way. I was in my way for a very long time. Me being in my way also put me in his way. I was in his way because Dexter had vision. He was seeing, he was wanting to pursue things. He was studying under Les Brown, Paul, how do you pronounce his name?
Paul Martinelli.
Yeah. He was doing so many different things, and I was sitting back finding reasons and excuses as to why it wouldn't work. And it was just out of a lot of fears. So what had to shift first was me. I had to change my mindset. So that's the thing that we do even as the upgraders. If you want anything to work, I don't care what it is. You need to really look at how you see things. How do you approach it? What's your mindset about it? So that paradigm shift had to actually happen with me. Well, what helped me to do that? He lost his job. Mm-hmm. So we've been through bankruptcy. We've been through foreclosures. just losing our home, everything. So this is what was going on with us. And I can remember when our upline, which is our brother and sister, Greg and Dr. Lanika Scott, they had reached out to us with our previous company. And I said yes. And then 2 days later, I texted them. It was about midnight. And I was like, I changed my mind. And I remember them talking. I know about the conversation now. I didn't know about it then, of course. But she's like, what's going on? He said, just leave them be. They'll be here. Well, what did it take? It took that phone call that came to my husband because my security was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew how to rob Peter to pay Paul, still do know how to rob Peter to pay Paul. So even though I want more, I at least know how to manage what's going on with me. I hope somebody is even catching that, because a lot of times we don't want to move out of our comfort zones, because at least I know what's going to happen here. And the fear of the unknown and what it could be and what could possibly happen is the thing that I was pushing back and running away from. But when the call came where my husband was basically told, your job is no longer here, is gone, that's when I sat down with them and listened again.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened, and we got started back in the industry of direct sales. 18 months later, we had earned our first 7 figures in the business. Why? Because Tonya Jonah Scott got up and got out of her own way.
Yeah.
And the result of that has been excelling ever since. So some of the things we want to talk to you about is just to explain, what do we do? What are some of the things that we do? How do we make this happen? And then we'll take questions. So I know what, like you said, babe, our thing is, it's the mind. So you want to start with that?
Yeah. So let's do this. And you guys, for those of you guys that have your cameras on, a simple thumbs up will be enough. In the chat box, for those of you guys that don't have your cameras on, just let us know if you see it. Okay.
Amen.
Now, pink elephant. I want you to see a pink elephant. If you see a pink elephant, just give me a thumbs up. All right. So the reason that we do that is a lot of times we can tell you all the things that you've heard, which we're going to share some of that stuff. We're going to share kind of the nuts and bolts of some things that you can do, probably that you've already heard from your leaders. But it literally starts in the mind. Where the mind goes, your energy flows. What you focus on expands. So we like to start with the mindset, because if you don't have the mindset to see yourself progressing, print out the copy of the ranks so that you can see them. You can see them with your eyes. If there's a rank that you desire to be at, then why don't you go ahead and write down your name and the rank? You might not be there now. That's okay. What you're doing is you're exercising the mind. You're getting your mind prepared to see it, just like you saw the elephant. All I did was say it. You saw it. So you got to be able to see. You got to see it before you see it. What is it that you want to accomplish in your business? Do you want to hit that rank? Then go ahead and create a banner with your face on that banner showing that rank. Just do it.
Yes.
Right. And that's one of the things that I learned when I studied with Les Brown in 2010 is you got to speak a thing before you see it. You have to already be there. Okay. So do that. Let me give you a law. And if somebody can type this in the comment section, Tonya and I teach this also. Yes. It is called the law of polarity. P-O-L-A-R-I-T-Y. The law of polarity says if there's a left, then there's a right. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a coin, you have one side of a coin, you flip it, there's the other. If there's a yin, there's a yang. Tonya and I live in the state of North Carolina. So in order for us to get to a neighboring city, which is Durham, North Carolina, it is 25 miles to Durham from our house. So if it's 25 miles to Durham from our house, it is also true that it is 25 miles from Durham to our house. Everything has a complete opposite. So if you talk to 10 people about PartnerCo and you're telling them about the products and they tell you no, don't get discouraged, because if 10 people tell you no, then it is also true that there are 10 people that'll tell you yes. So that's where the law of polarity kicks in. If we understand that, Ty and I understood that very early, and we're still understanding it, because we do know that sometimes you can talk to people and you see it for them more than they see it for themselves, and you may get a little frustrated. That's normal. But just understand that the opposite is also true. If you talk to 3 people about joining your business, and those 3 people say, I'm not interested, I don't want to do that stuff, whatever, there are also 3 people that will tell you yes. So keep that in mind. That is called the law of polarity. You want to add to that, Tony?
I'm glad you
Yeah.
said it. It was actually what was on my mind, is for us to really understand that. And I love to say it even in this way. These are powers that we have. And a lot of times it's not recognizable to us. A lot of times we don't think of it in this way and know about it in this way, but these are the abilities that we've been given. So it's a matter too of, even in all of our progression in life, what can you handle? And so when you're going through these processes, it's like, how can I handle that? Because if everybody always just tells me yes, then what could that do for me as a person? What is that going to do for me and my character? But in life, things happen. We're not all in the same place. There are people who need you, you need them, that iron sharpening iron. There it is again. So how will you handle that no, that rejection? That rejection, what it did for me over the years, I went into hiding. I wasn't there. I didn't want to even have my light to shine, if you will. Downplaying, that's not healthy. That's not of God. That's not how things should be. So now through growth, personal growth and development, I've learned better. I know better. And in building my character, it's like, well, all of these things are in place, and I'm doing better. And that's the thing that we actually have to get and understand. So with the law of polarity, there's a up, there's a down, there's a yes, there's a no. I can handle that better, but I have high expectations for the growth. I'm looking forward to it. One of the things that we would say, and even our organization would say to each other, is we're looking for people who are also looking for us. That's my focus. And that's the thing that would have me there. And then I'm able to release without taking personally those who may not they may say to me no, or they may say not now. I've learned to release that a little bit better now, than I did before. And I can tell, and that's the growth factor that's taken place. And a result of that has again been where we've seen growth within our organization. When we got started here in Partner Co. May 6th of last year, I think in that first week we had enrolled, 30 something people in that first week that we got started. We've done over 60 something people, and we're grateful for that's enrolled with us. How are we able to do this? It's been conversation. So for all of you here, my brothers, my sisters here in Africa, Nigeria, South Africa, I believe is where we are representing right now. If you want to know some of the things that we were able to do to help us grow to be one of the top 100 in power ranking over this past year, it had everything to do with our visibility. It had everything to do with conversations. And what we needed to do was show ourselves. Even the number one place that we've used, I say the number one, number two is online, social media, and then also just the belly to belly. Okay. So on social media, it's about consistency in what? Posting. Consistency in your visibility, consistency in people knowing that you're actually in business. And in doing that, doing things online, we don't just talk about Partner Co. all the time. Now, our primary product that we use as an organization and promote is the Tahitian Noni. That is some powerful stuff. It literally brought me to tears on the call we were on recently this week, because we are so passionate about it, y'all. It feels so good to us to be able to offer people something that will literally change their lives. The other thing that we do is we've identified a way and we put systems in place. Well, what is that good for? These systems is something where it's duplicatable, because people aren't duplicatable. Everybody can't be you call the name out. There's people that we could look up to, see doing very well in the business. Our uplines, Greg and Lanika Scott, the person isn't duplicatable, but what they do is. And that's what you pay attention to. And those are the things that you also want to put into place. So We have a boards, we have a system, we have, where we say, okay, this is what you do. I picked up my phone last night. I went into what you may already be using boards, but I went into boards. We had someone that enrolled with us last week. So I sent another message to her by way of boards and just welcoming them to the team and giving them the first thing to do. And they do that. Then I say, let me know when that is done. Then I can send them the next text message. And we all have access to it right here in boards. This is system. And then we launch our business partners. You get started with us, let's do a business launch. Who do we want to get in front of? We want to get in front of your network. Your network needs to know, again, that you are in business. I'm pretty sure you've already heard it. If your mouth is closed, your business is closed. Yeah. So we open up our mouths. Now, when you first get started with us, you may not know what we know just yet. If you are one that's converted from being a customer, you may know some things. Why? Because the product already worked for you. You've been drinking Noni, the testimonies that come forth, we share them. When you have people who are now able to walk, who were not able to walk up and down stairs before, when you have testimonies, we have testimonies coming in where people saying the blood that was in my eyes has now stopped. And it stopped after I started drinking this product, utilizing your product. When you had people who was like, I have alopecia and now the growth is coming back in my head, my hair, and it's thicker. I mean, these are things right here that we are empowered by. Mm-hmm. So we talk about it. So there are sometimes customers who say, okay, what do I need to do to be in business? So my conversation with them and getting them started may be a bit different. They may can talk with me a little bit more on their launch call, but we have launch calls. And if we were launching you, we would say, write down 100 names, 50 to 100 names. We'll choose a date. And we'll say, invite everybody to your call. And the same way we're meeting here right now on this Zoom, we meet right here with their network of people. And we present an opportunity. We share a little bit about ourselves. They welcome their guest. We help them to understand who we are as a company, as a team. We talk about some products. We share some testimonies. We give a little on comp, maybe share even some testimonies with that as to how people have done in the last year. And then we close it out. And then we have our new business partner to simply follow up with them and ask, what did you like most about what you heard? And their question will help us to know the direction to take, because their answer could be, man, so tell me some more. Somebody, it did what for them? That lets you know that they're probably more interested in being a customer. Mm-hmm. But if somebody begins to ask other questions and wanting to know about the team and the business, then you could be looking at a partner. And just following up with them on a regular basis is what we would do. Not overpowering or anything like that, but being able to answer the questions. And the last thing I'll say to that, but you can come on up, is a big part of that too is just, and you've heard this before, I'm sure, that people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And one thing that we've learned about that in coaching and so forth is basically that comes with questions. When I can take time with you and I can ask you questions and I can tell me what did you think about, what you just heard? Oh, wow, I'm listening to them to continue the conversation, to hear from them, asking more questions, about their lives. Is there anything that you're looking to change in your life? How's your health? What have you been dealing with? Those types of things. And people like, well, you really do care. And that's how we are also able to draw people and we build trust. Mm-hmm. And the rapport is there for people to know that, you know what? Because one of the things that we say all the time is it's very different here. And we speak about that as it relates to this company, PartnerCo. Yesterday, we led one of the calls that our team does on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. And one of the, keeping my train of thought, my thing for everybody at that moment was a lot of people who even came with us when we first started, who have stepped aside, or some have even gone back to our previous company, which is like, fine, do whatever you need to do. But a lot of times when you come into anything that's new, it's a bit more fearful for you because you don't know.
Right.
Here's my point. My thing is, and I'm speaking, I didn't even expect to do all this, but I'll just say it. I'm speaking from the perspective of Partner Co. I have never seen a company like Partner Co., which is why you heard my husband even open up to say, oh, we're home. This is just so different. And it is. To know that each and every one of our products are backed by science, to know that we have a research and development team, to understand that we have chief medical officers here on staff, to know that everything is done in FDA approved laboratories, which is a choice of a direct sales company. To know that we have access to contact people like Blessings to get questions answered, that they can respond to me. We had people that we were looking at in Africa. I was like, what do I do? I was connected to her. She's been talking to me. That's big. These are things that we leverage when we talk to people, when we share with them about who we are as a company, as a business, as a team. And it's changed everything. So we're armed, y'all. And this is something we say often. I'm like, we got power in our hand on so many levels, but what are you going to do with it? I know I done talked a lot. I'm sorry.
No,
you good?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That's good. Hope you guys are getting something out of this. So if type in the comment section leverage. Tonya and I are very big on this. Y'all, we love testimonies. If you do not have a testimony yourself, that is totally fine. Don't wait on that. Leverage other stories. So we're always looking for before and after pictures. Now, I happen to use, I'll use stories a great deal. So I might pull a picture down. I see Anthony up here, right? Anthony posts a lot of before and after pictures. I'll download a picture from his page, put it on stories, and then I might do a little write-up with some music. I get more views from that than anything else. So learn to leverage stories and learn some of the stories by heart. That is very important because when you're talking to people, you want to be able to tell them when they tell you their issue, and it might be inflammation. Well, one of the things that we learned early on is, okay, how many deaths happen due to inflammation? And it was like 50%. So we said, okay, we Googled it, learned it. So when we're talking to somebody, or even when we do presentations, we say, do you know that over 50% of people die because of diseases related to inflammation? We didn't mention what diseases they are, but it's inflammation. So what products do we have that will take care of the inflammation? Of course, one of the products is the mold. Second, you know that the Tahitian noni juice gets inflammation out of the body. Another thing that we do is we learn as much as we can for the people that need knowledge, okay? So early on when we started, Tonya and I learned a great deal about Tahitian noni. It grows year-round. When noni grows from the stem, they pick it from the stem out. I mean, we learned all this stuff. Once they pick it, it starts growing again. It grows in and out of season. It can grow in a lava field, or it can grow in complete shade. On a beach. It can grow on the side of a beach, or it can grow. And what I do is, we live in North Carolina. We're 4 hours technically from the mountains. We're like 3 hours from the beach. So we'll say something like, do you know that noni can grow on the side of a mountain in Asheville, North Carolina? You can take the plant and put it at the beaches of North Carolina, and it will grow in that soil as well. So the point is, noni can grow in any soil. Then we'll say something like, do you know that when in Tahiti, that when the families would move from one island to the next, they only packed the essentials. So they will put their belongings inside of the boat, and they will also grab a noni plant. Why would they grab a noni plant? So that when they got to where they were going, they could plant it in the soil and it will grow all over again. So we started learning all this stuff so that we can speak directly to the points that people needed. So make sure that you gather testimonies of the specific products. Of course, with the drops, we got our drops right there. The drops, we know people who drop hundreds of pounds. We share that. You know, we might know the person's name. We might say, hey, we got a guy named Ken on our team. He's not on our team, but he's a part of Partner Co, which means he's on our team, right? Just it's all of that because we are partners. Tonya and I will do this. You know, the Partner Co symbol is this.
That's it.
So we'll say, do you know what Partner Co means?
It.
This is it right here. We have blurred sponsorship lines. We heard that from Brent Palmer. So we use that. So we say there's a guy that we know, man, his name is Ken. He's amazing. Do you know that he dropped over 100 pounds taking the skinny drops in 3 months? And so people are listening. They're like, oh my God. Well, is that our testimony? No, it's not. It's his testimony. So be someone that you gather a lot of testimonies so that you can pull them out when you need them. Okay, so you're leveraging. So just as a word to use, leverage. Leverage the testimonies. Now, that can also be financial. So when we were at the Partner Co event in Florida last year, everybody that came up on stage, they were sharing what they earned. We take those stories and we share them with people. Do you know that XYZ earned like $5,000 last month just by selling the products? So you don't have to do, now we'll share that with somebody who's a busy professional. Say that it's a real estate professional, they're busy and we're talking to them. We want to speak to them from a part-time perspective. So we'll say something like, listen, we got a business partner. Her name is Lisa. Lisa earned $5,000 last month just by selling the products part-time. So you want to make sure you add that because people don't want to do something else that's going to keep them really busy. So we're just always looking at the situation, looking at the person that we're talking to, and we're able to kind of fill in those gaps in speaking to them. Another quick thing to mention is comparison. All right. Do not compare your story with anybody else's. One of the things about social media, it's great, but social media is very loud in the sense of you really don't know what that person had to do to get to where they got to. So don't compare your successes with anybody else's successes. Somebody may have made $5,000 last month. Well, they may be single, no children, and they can work their business at their leisure. Well, if you're married with 2 or 3 children that are in elementary school, that you need to care for on a daily basis, your life is different. So what does success look like for you? So we've shared this before. Comparison is the thief of joy. If somebody can type that in the comment section. Comparison is the thief of joy. Do not compare yourself to anyone else. Be inspired by someone else, but don't compare because that can really wreck, it can really wreck your confidence if that's what you're looking for.
And it's a distraction.
Yeah.
It's a
And it's a
major
distraction. Yeah.
When we talked about what you focus on the longest actually becomes the strongest. If you're focusing on what other people are doing or the comparison is in place, then that is a distraction and you will find, and whatever you're focusing on, that's the direction that you will head toward. Everything about what we do, and this gets back into the mindset, the thoughts, the subconscious mind, everything that we think about, what we meditate on, we're meditating constantly. Honestly, something is there. It's going to have effect on your behavior. Yeah. Don't know already, we are a man and woman of God, people of faith. And one of my most favorite scriptures is when he says faith without works is dead. And then it goes on to say, I will show you my faith by my works. So I'll show you what I believe by what I do. So think about that for a minute. What it is that you're thinking about often, what you meditate on has a lot to do with your faith, and your behavior will line up with it, and you'll begin to do based on what you believe. Let's take it further.
That's good.
So if I'm believing that they're not going to join me, if I'm believing that I'm not going to grow, if I'm thinking and seeing it and all of this, and that's where my meditation is on, then you will find that instead of call them IPAs, income producing activities, you won't be doing income producing activities. Your activities will actually be to the opposite of that. So if you're like, hold on now, I'm going to show you what I believe by what I do. Part of it being here right now, being plugged in, this is a part of faith. You're here. Why? Because you're believing to hear something. You believing for your business. You see what I mean? There's other things that you'll do when you make the post, when you set up the meeting, when you launch your team, when you get things in place, because you're doing the faith, you're putting forth the action that's going to actually yield the results that you're looking for. We do our part, God does his, and that's how we build. And what's going on with us, with this business, with our team, with our entire organization. And like we said too, we're really grateful because the lines are blurred. The lines are blurred. I mean, it's like we're here. We have team members in the state of Virginia here who are not even in each other's downline, but on a weekly basis, they host a team together. They talk to each other's people, closing each other. Powerful. And that's also sowing and reaping this growth. So nothing is happening that's being selfishly done, if you will. Also is what we're saying, because we believe, and and I'm pretty sure you've heard it already. Anybody in the industry, we were like, it's enough out here for everybody. It's enough food. It's enough people. We have millions, trillions of people throughout the world. And we're all able to build here. You guys enroll someone in North Carolina, send them to our meetings. That's what we're able to do. And we're really grateful for that. So that's a big part of our building and how it's working here as well.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. So we can share, I think we got time to share one more point, is consistency. Tonya mentioned it. Now, this is important. It's funny. Tonya and I will be out in public and we'll see someone and they'll say to us, hey, you guys, you're doing awesome. I saw your last post on Facebook. So Tonya and I, it's like, wow, you're on Facebook? Because they never say anything. So people are watching for your consistency.
They are.
They're watching to see, are you going to keep posting about
it's trust?
Yep, they're building trust. Yeah. So people do business with people they know, like, and trust, right? So they're seeing if they can trust you. Are you going to be consistent in you talking about what it is that you do? Are you consistent in talking about the lives that you change? Are you consistent with posting before and after pictures of people who drop weight, or sharing a testimony of someone who had a major medical breakthrough? Are you sharing those things? If you post 1 week and then you take 5-6 days off and then you post again, well, that's not consistency. And the algorithms on especially Facebook is not going to be happy with you. So it's not going to share the post. So we see a lot of people, we've seen a lot of people in public who've been watching us, but they won't say anything. So we encourage you to be consistent with your posting. Your leadership is giving you some ideas of how to post. Make sure you follow that, but be consistent because people are watching. Okay, so anything you
and I can tell too, for me, I'll admit I'm the one. He's more. He would be online a whole lot more. Me, y'all know how it is. Sometimes mommies, stuff going on, the house, different things, and I'll get all off track. But honestly, when you are, I can tell when I'm consistent, I do get a greater response. When I'm not, the reach isn't the same, and that's the algorithms. So it's so true. And again, I think I said this before, but really understand that you don't want to just flood your page. And when people go, all they see is Partner Co. All they see is your products. They need to see you. People are getting to know you, you being with your family right now, taking a picture of the screen, showing being here at this meeting. At this group session, what are you getting out of it? How does it feel? And you just make a quick little post, but you're letting people into your life a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's those types of things too that people are looking for, because again, they don't join companies. People join people. They're joining people. And whatever it is that you've said to them, whatever you've done is what's attracting them. And that's what's going to yield your response, or whatever it is that they decide to say as it relates to partnering with you. So
yeah, let me share one more quick thing, and then Blessed, we'll bring you up. So you guys may have seen me look over a little bit. So this is very important. Y'all, this is a quick hack that really works. Like, here's my cell phone. So what I've been doing is my phone is here. I'm recording Tonya and I talking to you. What I'll do is go back upload the video. We have an iPhone, so I'll put it in iMovie. I remove the sound. So I don't want people to know what we're talking about. They just see
We
that
working.
they'll see me doing this and they see
They
Tonya
see
doing this.
working.
They see it. I'll add a little music, and then I might post something like, we shared today with our team in South Africa. That's it. In the comment section, I might say something like, we love what we do. We're helping change people's lives all over the world. If you're interested in what we do, inbox us. I'll do stuff like that. It works. You can take any video that you've done on Facebook or wherever, download that video, make it a really quick clip, like 30, 40 seconds, remove the sound, and add in a little music and do a little write-up and just post it and go on about your day. Yeah. You know what? That is an income producing activity, because people, that's going to capture, they're going to see, wow, I wonder what they're talking about. That's a way to reel some people in, and then you can have a conversation with them offline. So that's just a little quick note to share.
It's so much with it too. Just in doing so, you look to see who's interacting with you. We have a call every other week is one that we do. We call it a Power 90 call with our organization. And it's because we're doing what we call a Power 90 run as a whole team. But I'm paying attention, people who are commenting, talking, I invite them to those meetings, and very straightforward, direct, especially those that we're looking for. Remember, our statement is we're looking for people who are also looking for us. There are people that are looking for you. Yeah. They are looking for you. Even to the post that my husband just stated and just shared, it's like there are people who are like, they're wanting something different. They're wanting a change. There are people who want to be healthy, and we even sow the seeds where right now you may not think you do, but guess what? I'm going to be someone you remember, because when that call comes, if it ever does, we pray it doesn't, but if that call ever happens with you or someone that love, and your family, whomever, you may remember Dexter and Tonya, and you may say, I remember hearing something about. I remember that, okay, let me message her. That's happening for me. Mm-hmm. I had someone I went to high school with, and she was like, hey, can you tell me what you all have going on? I just got. And I'm like, absolutely. But the only reason why she knew to call me or message me is because of posts that we've done, testimonies that we've shared. And it's been amazing. We do a call, actually, Dexter and I are leading the call tonight for the team, an opportunity call. Well, we do it at unitedtobelieve.com. You can show up there, but then we also have gone live on our page. Mm-hmm. So by us going live on our page, for people that we maybe invited but didn't show, or some that we didn't even think to invite, they may see it on our page. And I've actually gotten some people to join forces with us in business because they watched our live there. So it's things like that that you're just going to do on a regular, consistent basis. These are the types of things that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And we're just really grateful for it. And let me say this one last thing, and I promise I'm going to stop, and then blessings over to you. I want to go back to that, the comparison is a thief of joy, because you have to keep we're here in collaboration, but it's about you, what it is that you're doing. That's your focus. And it reminded me of, we have a team member, she's doing phenomenal. And every time you turn around, it's like, man, she's bringing people in, them sales that are coming, good gracious. However, she's a hairstylist. And when we're on our calls, she's there with her camera on her. She's doing someone's hair. She'll turn and she'll talk she'll speak to us in the camera and or on the group in Zoom and give stuff. And we laugh and talk with her. And then the person that she's sitting there doing hair with, anybody else in the whole salon, they can hear things that's being communicated. And then guess what? She just had 2-3 sales closed and she's doing nothing. Why would you compare yourself to somebody like that when you're not in that same situation? You see what I mean? And so we'll oftentimes look at the outcome of what people are doing, and then we'll come back and say, this ain't for me. This ain't working. I can't. Yes, you can. But don't look at what other people are doing and think that because they are, you can't and you won't. It's not true. That's her avenue, was yours. And so consistent with that. Does that make sense?
All right. Well, Blessing, we're gonna turn it back over to you. And thank you so much for you guys for being here. Thanks for giving us some time to share some information.
Thank you so very much. Oh, I hear all the team clapping. Everyone has been extremely and tremendously blessed this night. Thank you for sharing these golden nuggets with us, from stories, leveraging on stories, to not comparing, to consistency and changing our mindset. It just starts with that one, changing our mindset. Yes, we too can. Yes, we can. All right, just changing our mindset and not comparing. Amazing there, team. I see that there are some questions in the chat box. Please let us know if you have some questions in the chat box, and Dexter and Dr. Tonya would be very glad to take some questions before we call it a night. Any question in the chat box, Neil?
I'm in the chat box, Blessing. I'm just checking. I'll be with you just now. So far, I'm just seeing comments. No questions.
Did someone
so
ask
far.
a question about the birds?
I haven't seen that. I'm busy.
Okay, let's go back.
Okay, I see a comment about the bots from Lizelle. She says, no,
Okay.
not a separate one, but South Africa has a bot app. I think she was
Awesome.
responding to a question on the chat.
Okay, someone was asking about the birds. They wanted to get more information about the app, you know, how they can also leverage on that.
Yeah,
If it,
I was.
Go ahead, Joseph.
Yeah, I was trying to ask if we have non-boards which can keep us organized, most especially for those who are struggling with how to come up with the right scripts. And yeah, yes.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is you're just saying, how do you actually create the boards, the scripts that's needed, those types of things?
Is that what you are asking, Joseph?
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to ask, if we can be able, if there is, if is there anything for us like boards which can help us to stay organized with some testimonials, something like that.
For Moni. And so what,
Or Noni.
for Noni. Okay.
Yeah.
Not Moa. Okay, Noni. All right. So this is what we'll do. We can just share it with you. And if it get you to download boards, what I can do is send you the same message, or I can send it over to you, Blessings, and you can get it to everybody. Just the same message that we put out to get people to download boards. And then you can have access even to ours for our team. And we can give you access to even systems of growth, which is what Todd and Ashley Rowland have, and use it. We all just use it. Just use what works for you, and change anything over if you want to. And once you see them, you'll be able to even create your own. If you want to say, I'm going to do something a little bit different, because we've actually gone in ourselves and gotten things for our team and put it in boards that we can send to them too. So we'll do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Sarah Ryan is asking, would you recommend building individual birds for each product?
Well, yeah, you could do that actually. Now, I'll say this to that though. The thing is, we've identified too, is when you can focus on a particular thing or a few. We would, even with our last company, we actually identified like the top 3 to 5 that we work with. So would I have something in there for them individually? Yes, most definitely. But with us having like over 140 something products, I'm getting to know different things and learning about them, because we get questions. People have different things that they're dealing with, and I want to know what to offer them, which is why I'm so grateful to be able to send the emails to Barbara Cox Lovesey. I think I'm pronouncing her last name right. She's recently married, but that right there is something that we really are grateful for. But with all that being said, our focus when we first started tell you the truth, the Lord actually spoke to us and said, Noni. And so it was like, okay, Noni, and we focused on that. Then we started hearing about the skinny drops and seeing the results and having them. And then that's when we pulled together and said, we've got a Noni skinny body kit. And now let's talk from the perspective as an entrepreneur. People are looking to lose weight all the time. They want to release that weight. But once that's done, am I going to continue to use the drops? Not necessarily. But that Noni is forever. So for us, it's like you want to have something where people are like, this is longevity. You know, our upline, Greg Tedrow, he's been here for over 20-25 years with the company. And he's have people that has been on subscription now for 15-20 years because the product works. So for us, Noni is our foundation, and we love it. We're so grateful for it. But Skinny Drops is another one for us. Renew is another one for us. So you see for you and your team, how you guys want to move, but do that. But the answer to your question is yes. But I would still try to have some level of focus on what it is that you do primarily, and that right there will be the foundation to get you and your organization just exploding.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Michaela, you have your hands raised up. Please unmute and ask your question. That would be the last question.
Hi. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Dexter and Tonya, for such an awesome call and sharing all your golden nuggets with us. My question is a two-part question with regards to the launch calls that you guys have. The first question is, after how many days of, new brand partner joining, do you implement the launch call? And are there any brand partners that you do introduce to the business who are a bit fearful to have launch calls? And if so, how do you go about navigating that with them? Thank you.
It's a good question. So yeah, we want to schedule that launch call as soon as possible. And we tell that person, let's go ahead and get your call together. We try to do it, I say with 3 days, but we may have to push it out based on their schedule.
3 to 7 days, typically.
3 to 7 days. Yeah. So that's what we look to do. But this is what Tonya and I implemented with our team. We call it a seed week and harvest week because we have partners. Some of them are a bit nervous to do a launch, or some of them feel like, I don't know enough people. We told our team, listen, we got a group of folks. We said, listen, you guys invite X amount of people to a bi-weekly Zoom that we do, and that's called a seed week. Tonya and I do the presentation. All of them invite all of their people to one Zoom. That's we did it last night. So on Wednesday night we'll do a seed week is where we'll do a presentation and we send all guests back to the person who invited them. So starting today, throughout next week, they will be following up with the customers that were on that Zoom, and they will nurture them to get them to either make purchases or come into business. And then the following week, in 2 weeks, we're going to do another seed week presentation, and it's specifically for those folks who feel like, I don't have enough folks to get on a Zoom for you guys. So we'll make it a part of a group launch that we do. We feel like we can hit more people that way to build their confidence. And then when they get strong enough to say, you know what, I can get 10 people on a Zoom, then Ty and I say, okay, we got you. Let's make that happen. But that's kind of how we do.
Yeah. And I'm going to give a shout out right now to Officially the Kings. I see that they are here. They're one of our newest business partners. And I'm going to tell you, there's some people who held us accountable too, but they did their launch. Then they scheduled a second launch within 3 days afterwards. I'm telling you, write down what you're looking for. Yeah. Have high expectations for it, because they are who we have been looking for, and they're here. So they're out there, but I want to read to you what we even have, okay? So this was, again, I'm in boards, and this would be the message that I would send to the Kings when they got started, the one at the beginning stages. So listen to this. Hi, James and Natasha. Let's move to the next step. Start making a list of 100 people. Send this message to them 10 at a time to introduce them to your new business. Then here's the message for them to send. Hi, Dexter. I just started something new and I want you to take a look at it and tell me what you think. Go to power90run.com, watch the video, and let's talk afterwards. After they have watched the video, you can send them a 10-minute closed video. That's one that we've used as well, or just set up a 3-way call even, or just follow up with them yourself. So this is a message that we actually use to send to our team to help them. Now, this is without a launch. This is at the very beginning. That power90run.com, go look at it if you've never seen it before. It's Greg and Lanika actually doing a presentation for us, okay? Power90run.com. So these are, see, this is system. And these are things that's just in place. It's duplicatable. Everybody can't just do a presentation like the next, but here's one for all of us to use. Even home parties that we've had. People have come to our homes, and instead of them standing in front of the living room and talking about it, they would put this link up. They'll play this and just put it up to the TV or however you want to do it. And they watch Greg and Lanika do that presentation and close out. And they still say, so what do you think about what you heard? Mm-hmm. And they close it, and there's sales, and there's like recruiting and all of that. You see what I'm saying? This is leverage. This is what's duplicatable, and you just consistently doing these things over and over and over again. Does that make sense? Yes, Lizelle is saying it, lean on the system. Yeah. We say put the weight on the system. Put the weight on the system. Take it off of the people. And let us all just work and do it together. And those are the types of things that's actually helping everybody to grow. And I say it again too, bit by bit. All right, because again, that comparison can come in. Don't worry about that. Go at the pace that God has you. He knows what's good for you and what you need. He knows what he's doing in you and for you. Do you see what I'm saying? You just stay consistent. Somebody else's belief might be higher. He want to bring yours up. You stay consistent, but expect what you're expecting. I cannot say that enough. So that's just an example right there. As to someone, to answer for someone who may not want to do a Zoom, here's something right here as well. But I would definitely still in coaching be working with them to have them to do it, because this is part of what we were saying, where this industry, direct sales, is personal development on steroids for us all to grow. And you all know us, we want you to get out of your way. So anybody who wouldn't even want to do that is like, rise up, get out of your way. We have power in our hands. And for us as a team, y'all, one thing that we say often, we feel like we have a responsibility. And that's what keeps us going too. We have a response. So it's not even about us. We're the outcome. We receive the blessings as a result of our obedience. That's what's happening here. We have a responsibility to tell people about these products. We have a responsibility to help you. And that's how God knows, y'all, that's how we honestly feel. And that's what keeps us going and planted as well. And this is what we talk about. I hope that makes sense.
Thank you so much, Dexter and Dr. Tonya. Thank you. This feels like one of your seed. You've planted seeds right here, and we cannot wait to have the harvest. We cannot wait to have the harvest and begin to see all of these seeds germinate and grow into big branches. And thank you so much for sharing this golden nugget with us on this success series. Super, super, super grateful, team. We cannot say thank you enough. Thank you for feeling that, it's part of a responsibility to share this. And we can say that we're also responsible to ensure that this information that you've shared with us, we would use it to our advantage. We will leverage on it and ensures it germinates into amazing successes for our businesses and for our community in Africa. Everyone has to have the Teisha Noni on their table in their family. That's our goal, and we will not stop until we have that in every family. We have partners on the call who have been taking Teisha Noni for over 2 decades. I see them on the call, and they have amazing stories. We just finished a road show where we met partners who have been taking Taisha Noni as way back as since 1996. And these men and women have amazing testimonials that you too can leverage on for your business if you're just joining us for the first time on this call. So everyone everywhere needs Taisha Noni, and you have the solution. Like Dr. Tonya just mentioned, we have power in our hands. We must share this with everyone and transform lives for the best. Thank you so much, Dexter and Dr. Tonya. I'll just let you close out with your final words as we conclude the call. Thank you, Africa.
All right.
I opened
Yeah,
the door.
so basically it's just keep going. Just continue to be consistent. Believe in yourself. That's the biggest thing. If you believe it's going to happen, then it's going to happen. No one can stand in the way of you making it happen. Just continue to put your best foot forward and understand that failure is a good thing. Failure is a good thing. There's a quote by Samuel Beckett that says, have you ever tried? You ever failed? It doesn't matter. Try again, fail better.
Yeah.
Keep failing. Yeah.
Dream big, believe it for yourself, know that it is possible. Don't give up. Do your part, let God do his. Do not, and I love this. If he's willing to do it with me again, it's one of my favorite quotes, learned it from my husband, but do not bargain with life for a penny. Do not bargain with life for a penny. You deserve more than that. And that was a big lesson that Tonya Joyner Scott had to learn. Because to me, I operated in a lot of false humility because I was just afraid to disappoint God, not allowing him to bless me the way that he would want to. So do not bargain with life for a penny.
So we'll say it, Blessing. So the quote is by Jesse Rittenhouse. It says, I bargained with life for a penny.
And life would pay me no more.
However, I begged at evening.
When I counted my scanty store.
You see, life is just an employer.
It'll pay you what you ask.
But once you set the wages,
you must perform the task.
I worked for a menial's hire.
Only to learn dismayed.
That any wage I would have asked of life.
Life would have surely paid.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. What a closing. I need to watch this over and over, Africa. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll make the recordings available for you to keep watching and learning and growing.